Hey guys, StarCraft here, and today, well, I got two videos I'll be doing today. One is a review off of another Indiegogo campaign that I backed, though I'm regretting not buying the other book in it. I know I'm an idiot, but this one is one I've been waiting for, and judging by the look of it, it is the best looking just on how the book was put alone. Bigfoot Bill, in the shadow of the Mothman. This is created by Doug TenNapel, and creator of Earthworm Jim, The Neverhood, and Armikrog, Cat Scratch on Nickelodeon, but importantly, of course, Earthworm Jim, obviously. And I've been a huge fan of so much of his work. And so when he announced doing this, I had to put money down. Should have put money down for the sketchbook and ash can, but what are you gonna do? I'll get it next campaign, or if I can get money down for it later, I could do it again. But yeah, with the man's permission, I am going to spoil the hell out of this because it deserves to be spoiled. So we open up in Los Angeles as well, and they're dealing with a facility known as the Crypto Zone. What is the Crypto Zone? It's a deep state facility where the things that go bump in the night are kept safe from the public eye. In other words, where cryptids go. Some of them, like the Jersey Devil, the Jackalope. Again, the artwork on this is so good. And hold on one second. Sorry about that. But yeah, and it opens, the Slender Man. Nice how he's mentioning a more recent version. The Mothman. And yeah. It opens up right away with our hero protagonist, Bigfoot Bill, looking over a file. His file. As he finds out he was lied to. I actually kind of like this idea of just opening up like this with him. We don't know how we got here, which is fine and dandy, and we already find out, oh, wow, opening up already with him finding out he was lied to. We're not waiting until midway through the story. We just open up right off the bat as he finds out that, yeah, he's not the last Bigfoot. There are his parents out there. And basically he makes a getaway. Again, I love the artwork on this. It is just, Doug's artwork is so incredible. As he again kind of saying, I'm through with your life. And he's just tossing everyone around and they tackle him. You have a bunch, because he's a Bigfoot, he has a bunch of guys who need to do it. And yeah, all of a sudden then he says, he starts to reach for a root. Then another creature shows up, throws it right into another guy's face as it starts to burn him. I love it. Bill, that is so uncalled for. We then cut to a guy named Beckner, who has basically been the guy who's, you could say he's Bill's handler, the guy who brought him in. As he's meeting up with Agent Sharon, a woman he's clearly had a crush on, and we later find out Bigfoot Bill gave him this advice. Sharon, will you get some coffee with me? Get coffee, get married. There's going to be a bunch of question marks in there or something, but basically he's trying to ask her out, and he's just completely stunned. And then all of a sudden, right before he can ask, that's when the red alert happens. As well, and I love it. This better not be one of mine. It is. As Bill makes it to the front end where there's an electric boat. Okay, that's an interesting, clever idea. Just a second. Okay. But yeah, and that's where he's stunned. And then so he grabs onto this fork and rope to try and make a grappling hook. As he's ready to throw it up, and as Beckner's trying to calm him down, but he's like, you lied to me. And right before he can make a getaway, he is stunned, tranquilized, and knocked right out. As he wakes up right next to Jersey Devil. Oh no, not Jersey Devil, Chupacabra. Or Chupa as he calls it. And Chupa gives him this this taco. He's about to eat it, he says, don't eat it. Turns out there's a nail filer inside. And Bill's just like, it's a nail file. He has no idea what it means. Meanwhile, Beckner is with, I guess, the head of the Crypto Zone, General Skinner, who's basically telling him, now that he knows he's not going to, basically be like, he's going to not stop. So I need you to use the brain scrambler on him. So, and basically said, do it because I ordered to. If one of those things got out on the street, especially Bigfoot Bill, the president would put my butt in a meat grinder. Now do your job. As Bill then meets with Poseidon. Yes, that Poseidon. Now, from what little I've seen from the ash can and all that stuff, apparently Poseidon took down a lot of the gods, and that's what gave him so much power. But unfortunately, it was all put into his finger, or his finger bone. Without it, and because he's all dried up, he can't do much. But he's there with his Kraken. Yeah. Now, of course, it looks just like an octopus. And basically, Poseidon reveals Zeus is dead. I love this. Can I be Zeus? Zeus is dead. Then I don't want to be him. Okay, Doug, I don't know who you see as the voice for Bill, but I still see Dan Castellaneta. So it's like, then I don't want to be him. As basically, Poseidon tells him, basically, this is a prison. I need your help. Go find my finger bone. It's the only way to unlock the Kraken's supernatural strengths. Get us out of here. Then we'll be free and find your family. And basically points out all the air vents go throughout everything. Meanwhile, then Buckner comes over to Bill and basically tells him, like, hey, I just got chewed off because you stole his file. Yeah, well, you lied to me. And they're just going back and forth. Turns out the reason why Buckner is helping Bill, they're not friends. Apparently, Bill gives him life advice. And basically, he decides not to use the brain scrambler. He's not going to get much dating advice if he scrambles his brain. But then he tells Bill, act like a zombie. So I just love it. And up the fool Skinner as he sends it back. And then we see Mothman is, he's taunting, saying, like, I see the future. Bigfoot Bill is somehow bound to the gloaming. I will absorb all the fear in Los Angeles and bring about the gloaming. Whatever that is. And then Bill, he takes a screwdriver as they keep on walking. As he hides it underneath his little gauntlet, which I actually find interesting. And then it takes him back to where the cryptids are. And they're all playing games and everything. Ooh, high score. Stuff like that. I like it. I really like it. They show up, then they're just talking about, he shows up, tell him, hey, get out of here, cryptids only. Cryptids only. And I just love this. I rolled up a cyber card for you. Her name's Nancy Pelosi. Okay, that's the only political joke in there. And boys don't play girl characters. It's unnatural. Like me. Okay. But at the same time, it shows that Bill, he's either in a bad mood or I don't know, but he tells off this walking pair of pants and everyone's calling him out saying, like, whoa, you're so intolerant. Sorry, guys. As he then heads back to his room and decides, screw it, I'm going for it. As he takes out his screwdriver from the gauntlet. As meanwhile, Beckner is trying to still do the moves with Sharon, but yeah, after tossing out the note, he tries to talk up to her, but she's so frustrated. Yeah, he's like, Urgh. Meanwhile, Bill's making his way into the air vent. It sets off the alarms again. Great, Bill. As everyone's all freaked out, and and an alarm goes off. Obviously, Skinner realizes you didn't have the guts. Everyone knows what's going on. It's like, go, Bill, go! As he's making his way throughout the air vent until he ends up in this hidden room, the room with all these items, and then he finds Poseidon's finger again, his bone. He then puts it on the gauntlet and saying he wishes he had the Kraken right now, to which the Kraken feels the urge to come right over there. And hold on. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Poseidon's trying to stop him because like that idiot moron. But Kraken can't help himself, and he just heads right over, straight on over there. Because basically, Bill's been able to get activate somehow the power. As all the guards are trying to fight him, he's fighting them off quite good. And then you see Chupacabras playing again. But then they realize there's a breach. Everyone's trying to get out of there. The guards are trying to brain scramble him properly. Vecna's trying to stop him. Then the Kraken shows up and turns one guy's head into a pig. How very Casulian. Just keeps on. He's on autopilot. He's just trying to stop him. Then he basically gets onto Bill and becomes, well, like armor. In a way, he's like a sentient version of Earthworm Jim's power suit, and I dig it. And I just love it how return on. Oh yeah, I feel Lovecrafty all over. We both know you've never read Lovecraft. Hey, free armor. Less of your mouse moving, more of returning the finger to Poseidon. Basically, yeah, he wants to just be done with this. And then Poseidon just walks on over to a water fountain. A scientist just kept letting him do it. Once he's nourished, he kills the guy. Yeah, showing that Poseidon's not a good guy. At all. And that's a pretty sinister moment. Then you see Poseidon's meeting up with the Mothman and basically realizes, he goes in for the guards that are coming after them and he takes them all out. But he's also trying to keep the Mothman under restraint. Basically telling him, no, don't do it. You have no idea what you're dealing with. And yeah. Meanwhile, Bill is trying to still get out of there, and I love this bit. So, how does this work? I am bound by ancient laws of the universe to work under the fingers of Poseidon. No, I mean, how do I go to the bathroom? My innards are an interdimensional supernatural construct. And, huh? It's flushed far away from here. Well, thank goodness. Normally I'm not one for potty humor, but at the same time, it worked. He then makes his way to the electric moat until he ends up landing his hand right into the electric moat. But because Poseidon has taken on the powers of Zeus, he inherited it, that he also can control the lightning. As he is figuring out what to do thanks to the Kraken, he sends out the lightning right at them. Then, using the Kraken, is able to, kind of like he tried to do earlier with the spork and string, is able to whip his way out of there and get out, blasting a hole with the lightning. As meanwhile, then Poseidon as well causes everyone an exit to get out of there. And then, hold on. Yeah, everyone is all happy for him being, for Poseidon releasing him. And then Skinner is chewing out Beckner to get him back, get Bigfoot Bill back. No, he's not even that. He's just, you're on indefinite leave, get out of here. Then you have Shannon basically trying to talk to him, but Beckner's, of course, upset about the whole thing. She then finds his little note, and Sharon finds his little note and reads it. And she's like, Beckner? Like, she like, oh, I didn't know he cared for me. I just love it. Jersey Devil. LA Nobody. It's LA Nobody. But then you see them needing a little nourishment. Mothman takes some of the fear, and he soon realizes Poseidon fears me. Why did he go to the ocean? Why? Because he doesn't want me. Beckner makes his way home, and Bill's there. A newer on his head for some reason. As he then, Beckner tells him, get out of here. To just leave. Actually, no. First he's like, I'm gonna go out and get some air. Beckner slams the door. Then Bill finds a little kid out on the ledge. Her name's Georgia Lee. All the while Beckner's saying how apparently they're saying that the investigators are looking for Poseidon and Bigfoot. None of the others, which Beckner finds very weird. As all of a sudden Beckner pulls her in to show him that. But then Mothman shows up and grabs out Georgia Lee. Bill starts to get a feeling of deja vu is what happened with him. And he realizes, no, not going to happen. As he just takes on out of there, using the Kraken to whip through the city. a la Spider-Man kind of. As he continues to give pursuit, he then knocks Georgia Lee out and catches her. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. He then makes his way down with the Kraken's help and gives the Georgia Lee to a cop. Takes off and continues to give fight against the Mothman. Then, the fight, again, just look at this fight. It is just so amazing. But then the Kraken tries to warn him, don't look into his eyes. The horror! We didn't see that same dimension as a whole load of shit. Just dropped right in. In other words, he crapped himself. But I love this. The only thing I hate more than doing your bidding and doing your servant is doing Mothman's bidding. Nice you have your priorities straight, Kraken. As the Mothman comes upon a light, realizing that he can use his shadow abilities. And Sharon calls him up, but Beckner picks him up and picks up Bill, realizing we gotta do something about all of this. But basically, he decides to unleash his power of shadows. Then Poseidon shows up, and I love this. Normally you think, the big bad's gonna somehow put a stop to it and put him back under control. Nope. Mothman's actually to get more powerful by absorbing the fear of a god who fears being alone. And that he is alone. Then, he becomes a giant size. And, I'm not sure if this is what to be shadows or he has eyeballs, but for a brief moment, it looks like the Kraken is looking to the side. I like that detail. And he basically says, we gotta open the Hades gates. And once he does, he is made into Kraken Bill. Mothman mocks him for the stupid sounding name, but Bill is now huge as they just duke it out in the city even more. And then he tells him to think of something scary, but then he tells him, go for the eyes. Grabs the eyes, just keeps on fighting him. And basically he opens up the gates as they say the words together, Shemok Hemagog. And then, basically the gates are open and Mothman and his shadow energy are pulled in. And Kraken is about to get pulled in as well. The Underworld wants him to come back. He can think of no good reason to stay, but Bill can, and thus they stay. And then Beckner runs up to him, helps him up. It's daytime now, and basically they think, you just broke the whole universe. Wonder if they did. As Beckner allows Bill to come and go to stay at his place as his roommate. Then Sharon shows up and gives her his card, basically like, basically make it very clear, you want to grab some coffee still? Sees the note, puts two and two together, and then I love how Bill's like, my roomie's got a girlfriend. Then once he shows up, turns out the unicorn and some of the other creatures, including Chupa, are all there. And then basically Beckner's convinced, they could stay. But then it turns out Chupa is actually taking orders from Poseidon. And then he tells I tried to get the finger, the finger won't come off the gauntlet. Where did he try? Is he lying? I can't tell, but basically Poseidon tells him to chop off his own arm, and then it ends with him walking away, ending this first book. And this is awesome. Each one of these Indiegogo books keep getting better and better, but this, if I can be honest for a brief moment, one of the difficulties some of these other books have had is that either these were written by people who had very little experience writing comics, or they were artists doing it, or they were doing it more, going for a more intended style, things like that, or whatever. And they're all great. All of these Indiegogo books I've all gotten are great. Do not misunderstand me, but I gotta say at the moment, this is the best one yet. Doug, but I think that's because Doug's had a much longer experience being a storyteller for multiple mediums, video games, cartoons, comic books, etc., etc. On both counts, artist and writer, managing teams and all that stuff. So I think that's given it a bit of an advantage. And I think his creative mind has really been suited for this type of story, and he's working on his own strengths. Again, they're all great, but for right now, this is my number one pick. So if he starts putting out if you're able to get more copies on the next Indiegogo for the sequel book, do it. And I'm going to try and get my hand on that sketchbook however I can. So, yeah, that's Bigfoot Bill. Doug, great work. And that's all for now. Tune in for my story spotlight next. Catch you later.